welcome back to my channel. So today's video is about pre-budget planning. Might sound odd. What is this? Listen, it's very common to budget your entertainment, your food, your housing. No matter where you are on this neck of the planet, you need to figure out that as well, okay? So I make separate videos on that and break them down. I'll be making more on them. But this one's an important factor that is often missed. It's your pre-budget planning. Listen, this is for people that have really been looking at these kind of videos, analyzing, they want to make a change, they want to go, they're trying to get information. This is something important for you. This is something that's reached out for you guys, because you have to be honest with yourself. And this is, if you're going to take anything away from this video, it's going to be that. Be honest with yourself what you're looking for. So let me break right into that. I'm just going to give you a brief introduction. If you've been watching some of my videos, you already know what I'm kind of about. I've been going back and forth for 8 years now to the Philippines. I keep my apartment. I've got a cozy home out there. You find unique ways to find cool different places to rent at a budget-friendly locations. So I've got a good aspect of both living there and here, because I spend my time literally half, 6 months there, 6 months here. So I've got a lot of insight, seen a lot of failures, made myself many failures, and I'd like to share these with you guys. So let's get right into what does pre-budget planning actually mean for you. And like I said earlier, be honest with yourself. So I think the majority of you guys are looking for like a change. You know, you're just struggling. It's hard to make ends meet. You want a happier lifestyle. And that's probably where most of you guys fit into. But it's also, you know that old saying, the straw that broke the camel's back? If you sacrifice many of these things that you are going to be sacrificing and changing, they're going to add up, and it's going to get you frustrated, and you want to take a deep look in yourself and what you want. A lot of you guys, like I just said, are moving for those. Maybe a lot of you guys are moving for relationships. Maybe some of you guys are looking just to play around. That being the most expensive, okay? So you have to be honest with yourself in that aspect of it before you begin your even budget, because this is going to also select the areas you would consider going. You know, it's easy I get a lot of comments saying, oh, I just want to get rid of the hustle and bustle. I want to be quiet and peaceful. You're going to find that, but you may find it's extreme. You know, like I'm going to give you an example. You don't want to live in a city in North America or any of these developing countries, Europe, wherever. Well, just because you're not in a major city doesn't mean you're outcast, or you can't get your supplies, you can't get your restaurants, you can't get your cooking stuff. Whereas in the Philippines, it can be significantly different. If you're not in a major destination, you're pretty isolated. So it's easy to say that and have that illusion to some degree. Oh, I can do that, because you're basing it on where you're from and you haven't been yet. And that's another thing I'd like to hit on quickly for a moment. If you can afford it and take the time, I would honestly say several months. Go for several months. Let the honeymoon wear off and see if this is even right for you before you make such a life decision. But having said that, I know a lot of people that just researched, did it, they were excited, they packed a few bags and that was it, and they were happy. And some of them wish they would have done it a lot sooner. But I think this is very successful if you can really be honest with yourself. What is your primary goal on this big change? And if it just costs a living, you're going to find that flat out. I'm going to be making separate videos on that. Like I said earlier, lots of stuff out there on YouTube about that. Some of it's a bit misleading a little bit, but in any case, there's lots on that. But you know, and relationship, now that's another big one. Now that a lot of people, guys, you know, they're getting on in the years, maybe they've had a failed relationship, they're just looking for a whole different, you know, lifestyle that way. That's very common. A lot of success stories on that as well. A lot of failures as well too, so you got to be careful with that. I'll be making some different videos on that as well in the future. But, you know, how's your health? Are you needing to be near healthcare? Are you a type of person that, okay, you think you don't really need the restaurants, but it's nice that even once in a while you can go. You know, do you need to be near that? Do you need to be near some other expats, or you want to completely stay away from that? And before you really jump on these answers, let it sink in for a while. Like a lot of people will say, oh, I just want to be completely away from everybody, this and that. That's great for the first week, 2 weeks, 3, 4 months maybe. But if you're looking long term, maybe you're going to get to a point where it's like, oh, Jesus, Murphy, I'd like a little bit conversation of this, you know, different insight, different input again, because it is a big culture shock. It's a big switch. So all these little things that seem so trivial in the beginning do add up, and they fester. So you have to be complete. I would personally write them down. You write a list and really say, okay, listen, all my life I work hard, I did this and this. I just want a really nice apartment right now. I want my pool, I want this. I just want to, socialize once in a while, and then I'm in home and relaxing and reading a book and all this kind of stuff. That might be your set. Okay, that's going to put you in a different category, different area, and a different budget. Somebody might say, I just want the bamboo hut, and I don't care about the dogs and the roosters and this and that. And I don't care about anything else. I just want that, and that's going to put you in a way different category. So make a list, and then flexible how much you are on your list. Like, this might be the most important. I'll just give you a quick little rundown. For me personally, sleep is important. I like quiet and fresh air. I like my windows open. So that's one of the harder things that I have found to find. And, so a lot of noisy areas I don't like. I like to be comfortable in my area. I also like to be near day adventures. Where I'm at right now, currently I'm 20 minutes away from a marine refuge. I can go snorkeling another different direction, 20 minutes, half an hour. I'm at hot springs and waterfalls and so on and so forth. I can go driving around the island. I've got lots of restaurant choices. So these are things that are all there's quite a few in that list still, but they're not all the most important. But when you put them together, I can have a bit of a better balance. And some of the things okay, this was important, not quite what I wanted, but I got all these other things in that list. Write things down that are the most important for you before you do budget planning. Because, I gotta tell you right now, you're surviving on whatever you've got right now. You're surviving. You might not be the happiest, okay? So you're looking at these things and you're trying to figure out where you can be happier. And that's an assumption of mine right now. But that's probably what you're doing and researching when it comes to the budgets. So you're going to find all day long videos about rental and foods and all that kind of stuff. But you got to really figure out for yourself. Like, driving is another one. I don't mind driving in the Philippines. I would go nuts if I couldn't drive on my own, go where I want to go, when I want to go. I would probably not even be in there if I was not able to do that. I bought my own scooter and I'd go on daily adventures. So if that option was taken away from me, oh, that would be huge. That would probably be a deal breaker. And for many of you, would probably like, oh, I don't want to drive at all. I've seen the videos. It's chaos. And it's not a deal breaker. You prefer not to drive. So being honest with yourself is the first step. And I can't stress this enough, because so many people have that never been, especially, and that maybe have been working other lives now or saving up. And the whole shift alone is going to be significant. Like, you hear about all these stories about people that finally retire and then they get sick, because that is a shift in itself. Now you're going to a whole new, area. So I really can't stress this enough. And part of the reason why I make all these videos, I enjoy the interaction. I enjoy when people leave comments and have different insights and stuff like that. So again, if there's a video maybe that you're looking out there for that you can't seem to find, you want me to touch base on, leave that in the comments. I'd be more than happy to reach out and maybe even make a dedicated video for yourself on that topic. But I wanted to spend a quick little moment and stressing on that, because that is a big factor you don't want to skip, okay? You really need to analyze yourself and what is going to make your life quality happier. And some of the things are deal breakers. Some of the things, like, again, I can't make them up for you. I can just give you the examples. I can say the important thing is, if you ignore that, you're going to suffer and you're going to have issues and you're going to have problems if you don't understand what those key factors are going to be, because it won't make life easier. It'll make definitely harder there. And those are, again, it could be healthcare, it could be the food quality, it could be the entertainment, it could be the relationship, it could be the housing itself. These are things you really want to break down. What are non-negotiable for you? And I've changed my mind on a few things. I thought, okay, this is non-negotiable, but I was a little bit more flexible because it gained me this, and this. But again, I find writing them down and analyzing them, you're going to succeed a lot more there by doing that. Quick little hint as well, patience. Have a lot of patience when you go there. You're not going to find potentially you're not going to find it on the first bat and go around. Finding that location is one of the more difficult things to do. So be prepared to pay more. Be prepared to have like maybe a home base and then consider, you know what, this didn't work out for me. Take a flight, spend a week or so at a new destination, complete area, get the feel for it, walk off the beaten path a little bit, and see if that works for you. And it could take several months, maybe a little bit longer, maybe it's very fast, before you find your real so-called home and where you can settle down. But be a little bit patient, take your time on that. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to quickly touch base on that. And I really feel it's important to have that pre-budget mentality. And correct me where I'm wrong. Give me an insight. If you enjoy these type of videos, please follow along, share. I enjoy the engagement, and I'd like to get the channel growing. So appreciate your watching through this, and everybody take care and successful on your adventures.